following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
This episode of the Replay Sports Channel is being brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Royal Retros has something for you. Every product tells a unique story, and you can be sure that you will stand out from the crowd with something different. Head over to Royal Retros today. Use the code REPLAY to get 10% off your order. The link will be provided in the show's description. Acquiring players. First, taking a look at the Tampa Bay Bandits. Byron Leftwich's team is reeling and turnovers are the story. Last week in Atlanta, the Bandits gave up the ball 4 times. Joe Flacco threw 4 interceptions in that game. He now has 8 interceptions this season, tied for second most in the WFL. You might remember Flacco was the quarterback who led the Bandits to a Pantheon Bowl title last season. Bandits as a whole managed just 17 second-half points last week in the loss to Atlanta. Flacco finished 29 of 62 for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the mistakes erased any rhythm. His touchdown throws to Cooper Kupp and Gray kept the Bandits close early, but once Atlanta seized momentum, Tampa Bay never recovered. Statistically, Tampa Bay is a middle-of-the-pack team. They're 12th in total offense, 8th in passing, and 8th in total defense, but it is the running game that has been the problem for this team. They are now 15th in the league in rushing offense. So that will put the pressure on Joe Flacco, and lately that pressure has turned into turnovers. So if Tampa Bay is going to snap out of its skid, it has to do several things. One, they have to protect the football. They need to get something going with the running back Dowdle on the ground and let Cooper Kupp control the middle of the field. And then across the field, the Memphis Express, they come in rested. They had a bye week, and they also look dangerous. The Express leads the league in rushing offense, and they are also second in total offense. This is a power team built around quarterback Lamar Jackson. He has yet to throw an interception so far this season. He also has 361 rushing yards. Josh Jacobs is the running back, 447 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. He's 5th in WFL in rushing. 2 weeks ago, in their last game, Memphis piled up 569 total yards. 243 of those were rushing. Jackson had 326 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. Jacobs had 2 touchdowns, but guess what? Memphis still lost that game. Reasons why? In their 4 losses, the Express have lost by an average of 4.5 points per game. Also, last week in the loss to San Antonio, they had 2 fumbles. They outplayed San Antonio in every major category except the scoreboard. Memphis's issue isn't moving the ball, it's finishing drives without mistakes. Defensively, the Express are vulnerable. They're 16th in total defense, 15th against the pass. But this is a team that believes if it runs clean football, it can overwhelm their opponents. So some key matchups for you to watch tonight as both teams finish their warm-ups and we get ready for kickoff. Josh Jacobs versus the Tampa Bay run defense. Memphis will want to control the night on the ground. Flacco versus the turnover battle. If Tampa Bay gives Memphis short fields, this could get ugly very quickly. Tempo. Memphis wants long, physical drives. Tampa Bay, on the other side, wants Cup in the passing game to speed things up. This game feels like it will come down to discipline. Tampa Bay cannot afford another 4-turnover performance, and Memphis cannot afford to waste another 500-yard offensive night. One team will leave this game at 2-4 and breathing again. The other will be staring at a lost season. So sit back, get ready to enjoy the Monday night game between the Tampa Bay Bandits
Flacco was intercepted by McKinney, return of 29.
Offense, number 60, 10-yard penalty.
Jackson passes to Brown, incomplete, DeJean on the coverage. Jacobs with a 4-yard run, Whitehead with the tackle. Jackson on the sweep, touchdown Memphis. Fairbairn makes the extra point, Memphis 7, Tampa Bay 0. The kick from Fairbairn is returned 31 yards by Gray, Thomas on the tackle. Dottle the ball carrier, gain of 11, Dean on the tackle, first down. Flacco with the pass to Dottle, incomplete, Dean on the coverage. Flacco to McLaurin, incomplete, Hilton on the coverage. Flacco to Jones, gain of 3, Thomas on the tackle. A 41-yard punt by Stout, 5-yard return by Powell. Jacobs on the carry, loss of 3, Walker on the tackle. Jackson completes the pass to Strange, 7-yard gain, Whitehead on the tackle. Jackson passes to Pierce, gain of 35, Eugene with the tackle, first down. Jacobs on the carry, no gain, Tranquil on the stop. Jackson with a gain of 16 on the play, Smith with the tackle, first down. Jacobs with a gain of 6 on the play, Hill on the tackle. Timeout, Memphis. Jackson is sacked by Cansey, loss of 6. Jackson throws incomplete to Pierce, Whitehead on the coverage. Fairbairn is good from 41, Memphis 10, Tampa Bay 0. Flacco passes to Dottle, gain of 2, Dean with the tackle. Flacco completes the pass to Mitchell, gain of 13, McKinney on the tackle, first down. Flacco completes the pass to Dottle, 8-yard gain, Dean on the tackle. Dottle on the carry, 7-yard gain, Ellis on the tackle, first down. Dottle on the carry, gain of 1, Dean on the stop. Flacco to Ham, incomplete, Ogba on the coverage. Flacco to Cup, gain of 30, Williams on the tackle, first down. Dottle on the carry, no gain, Baker on the tackle. Dottle on the carry, 12-yard gain, Dean on the tackle, first down. Edwards on the carry, touchdown Tampa Bay. The kick by McPherson is good, Memphis 10, Tampa Bay 7. Jackson with the pass to Downs, gain of 19, Wiggins with the tackle, first down. Jackson is intercepted by Bosa, return of 0, end of the first quarter, Memphis 10, Tampa Bay 7. Flacco to Cup, gain of 19, Emerson on the stop, first down.
Number 17, 5-yard penalty.
Flacco passes to Ham, gain of 8, Ellis with the tackle. Flacco completes the pass to McLaurin, gain of 5, Hilton on the tackle. Dottle on the carry, gain of 11, Clowney with the tackle, first down. Edwards with a 20-yard run, Baker on the tackle, first down. Flacco to McLaurin, incomplete, Hilton on the coverage. Dottle with a gain of 1 on the play, Mafe on the tackle. Flacco to Ham, touchdown Tampa Bay. McPherson makes the extra point, Tampa Bay 14, Memphis 10. The kick from McPherson is downed by Irving. Jackson completes the pass to Jacobs, 6-yard gain, Whitehead on the tackle. Jackson completes the pass to Thomas, 8-yard gain, Campbell on the tackle, first down. Irving with the carry, gain of 3, Smith on the tackle. Jackson completes the pass to Downs, gain of 14, Wiggins on the tackle, first down. Timeout, Tampa Bay. Jackson passes to Strange, gain of 16, Molden on the tackle, first down. Jacobs with a 10-yard run, Whitehead on the stop. Jackson the ball carrier, gain of 8, fumble recovered by Davis, Tampa Bay ball. Flacco to Mitchell, 8-yard gain, fumble recovered by Mitchell, Tampa Bay maintains possession. Two-yard gain by Edwards, Sweat on the tackle, first down. Flacco to Cup, incomplete, Emerson on the coverage. Gray on the draw, no gain, Baker on the tackle. Flacco to Cup, gain of 13, Williams on the tackle, first down. Flacco completes the pass to McLaurin, gain of 11, Hilton on the tackle, first down. Flacco is sacked by Dean, loss of 5. Flacco passes to Gray, no gain, Dean on the tackle. Flacco to Jones, incomplete, Thomas with the coverage. A 46-yard punt by Stout, return of 15 by Powell. Jacobs the ball carrier, no gain, Cansey on the tackle. Jackson completes the pass to Jacobs, 5-yard gain, Tranquil on the tackle. Jackson throws incomplete to Downs, Wiggins on the coverage. A 49-yard punt by Wright, fair catch by DeJean, fumble recovered by Smith, Tampa Bay ball, 2-minute warning. Flacco to Mitchell, gain of 3, Emerson with the tackle. Flacco to Cup, gain of 3, Emerson on the stop. Flacco throws incomplete to McLaurin, Hilton on the coverage. A 45-yard punt by Stout, no return. Jackson passes to Pierce, incomplete, Whitehead with the coverage. Jackson completes the pass to Thomas, gain of 13, Campbell on the tackle, first down. Jackson is sacked by Walker, loss of 6. Jackson to Thomas, incomplete, Campbell on the coverage. Jackson to Pears, gain of 16, Whitehead on the tackle, first down. Jackson on the carry, gain of 1, Elam on the tackle. Timeout, Memphis. Jackson to Thomas, incomplete. Jackson is sacked by Boza, loss of 8, end of the first half, Tampa Bay 14, Memphis 10.
Glenn Walker joining you from the Replay Sports Channel studios and taking a look at the first half numbers, and it's the Tampa Bay Bandits with a 14-10 halftime lead. Memphis coming in as 4-point favorites coming in. Memphis, of course, benefiting from the first play of the game. Joe Flacco picked off on the first play of the first possession. Memphis had a short field to work with, just needed 3 plays. And Lamar Jackson calling his own number, a 6-yard touchdown run, his first rushing touchdown of the season. Memphis goes up 7-0. Memphis would add to that later in the first quarter with a Kaimi Fairbairn 41-yard field goal, made the score 10-0. Then in the second quarter, belonged to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay would score in response to the Memphis field goal, an Edwards 2-yard touchdown run coming after a 10-play, 75-yard possession to get the Bandits on the board, and then taking advantage of a Jackson interception, Joe Flacco would throw a 5-yard touchdown pass to him and to take the lead 14-10. Jackson would be responsible for another Memphis turnover later on, but Tampa Bay could not capitalize. As we take a look at the first half numbers, both teams pretty close in net offense. Tampa Bay 174 and Memphis 170. Tampa Bay with a slight edge in the time of possession. Joe Flacco, after a rough start, now 14 of 22, 112 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked once. Lamar Jackson, 10 of 17, 139 yards, no touchdowns passing. He did have the 1 rushing. 1 interception, has been sacked 3 times. The Tampa Bay defense getting after Lamar Jackson. Jackson is also the leading rusher for the Express, 4 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp and Mitchell are tied for receptions for Tampa Bay, both having 3 each. And a lot of receivers for Memphis with 2 receptions each. You're watching the WFL on the Replay Sports channel. The WFL utilizes real NFL players and the advanced simulation capabilities of DK Sports Action PC Football. The WFL strives to create a thrilling, strategic, and statistically rich football environment that balances realism and innovation. Make sure to catch us again next week, as we will have the St. Louis Battlehawks paying a visit to the Detroit Wheels. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Replay Sports channel. And of course, we have info on all the games of the week in our podcast show, WFL Inside Access. You can listen to, catch all the information from the games that happened during the week in our review show, and then also check out our preview show, preview all the games that will take place across the WFL. So we're going to get you ready to take you back out to Titan Tech Stadium. It's a 69-degree late October evening, capping off Week 7 with the Southern Division battle between Tampa Bay and Memphis. Memphis will get the ball to start the second half. Make sure to stay tuned. After the game, we'll have the Replay Sports Channel Most Valuable Player, and we'll look back at the game and tell you about next week's game between St. Louis and Detroit. So get ready for the second half between Tampa Bay and Memphis here on the Replay Sports Channel.
The kick from McPherson is returned 15 yards by Irving, White on the stop. Jackson is sacked by Smith, loss of 11. Jackson completes the pass to Jacobs, gain of 16, Whitehead on the tackle. Jackson is sacked by Cansey, loss of 6. A 55-yard punt by Wright, return of 12 by DeJean. Edwards the ball carrier, gain of 2, Mafe on the stop. Flacco is intercepted by McKinney, return of 17.
Number 69, 10-yard penalty.
Irving on the carry, no gain, Cansey on the tackle. Jackson to Thomas, incomplete. Campbell
Pass
on the coverage.
interference, defense. Number 3, automatic, first down.
Jackson throws incomplete to Downs.
Pass interference, defense. Number 2, automatic, first down.
A 15-yard gain by Irving, Elam on the tackle, first down. Jackson throws incomplete to Hurst, Smith on the coverage. 2-yard gain by Jackson, Boza on the tackle. Jackson throws incomplete to Yushtik, Wiggins with the coverage. Fairbairn is good from 23 yards, Tampa Bay 14, Memphis 13. Flacco completes the pass to McLaurin, gain of 10, Clowney on the tackle. Edwards on the carry, gain of 17, Baker on the tackle, first down. Flacco completes the pass to Dottle, gain of 6, Dean with the tackle. Flacco throws incomplete to Ham, Ellis on the coverage. Flacco to McLaurin, gain of 6, Emerson with the tackle, first down. Five-yard run by Edwards, Baker on the tackle. Edwards gains 14 on the sweep, Baker with the tackle, first down. Two-yard run by Dottle, Hilton on the tackle. Dottle with the carry, gain of 13, Dean on the tackle, first down. Edwards on the carry, touchdown Tampa Bay. McPherson converts the extra point, Tampa Bay 21, Memphis 13. The kick from McPherson is returned 11 yards by Irving, Wiggins with the tackle. Jackson with the pass to Jacobs, gain of 57, Elam with the tackle, first down. Irving with the carry, gain of 9, Elam on the tackle. Jacobs on the carry, gain of 5, Smith on the tackle, first down. Jackson throws incomplete to Thomas, Campbell on the coverage. Jacobs with a gain of 7 on the play, Smith on the tackle. Jackson completes the pass to Strange, gain of 7, Elam on the tackle, first down. Jackson on the carry, gain of 2, Cansey on the tackle. End of the third quarter, Tampa Bay 21, Memphis 13.
copyrighted by the WFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions or accounts of the game without the WFL's consent is prohibited.
Jacobs on the carry, touchdown Memphis. The conversion is successful, Tampa Bay 21, Memphis 21. Flacco passes to McLaurin, incomplete, Hilton with the coverage. Dottle with a gain of 16 on the play, Baker on the tackle, first down. Edwards on the carry, 2-yard gain, Perryman with the tackle. Dottle with a 5-yard run, Clowney on the tackle. Flacco passes to Cup, gain of 10, Williams on the tackle, first down. Dottle with a gain of 5 on the play, Tart on the tackle. Flacco throws incomplete to Ham. Flacco to Jones, gain of 7, Thomas on the tackle, first down. Edwards the ball carrier, gain of 3, Rousseau on the tackle. Flacco completes the pass to Ham, gain of 1, Baker on the tackle. Flacco with the pass to Jones, 3-yard gain, Thomas on the stop. McPherson made the 41-yard field goal, Tampa Bay 24, Memphis 21. The kick from McPherson is returned 18 yards by Irving, White on the tackle. Jackson to Jacobs, gain of 3, Tranquil on the tackle. Jacobs lost 4 on the play, Walker on the tackle. Jackson completes the pass to Payers, gain of 30, Elam on the tackle, first down. Jacobs on the carry, no gain, Walker on the stop. Jackson is sacked by Cansey, loss of 7. Jackson passes to Payers, gain of 6, Whitehead on the tackle. "33-yard punt by Wright, out of bounds." Doddle on the carry, 5-yard gain, Sweat with the tackle. Doddle on the sweep, no gain, Ellis on the stop. Flacco to Cup, gain of 6, Williams on the tackle, first down. 2-minute warning. "7-yard run by Doddle, Ellis on the tackle." Doddle on the pitch, gain of 3, Ellis on the tackle, first down. Dawdle the ball carrier, gain of 6, Mape
Illegal
on the tackle.
shift. Offense, number 17, 5-yard penalty.
Dawdle the ball carrier, gain of 19, McKinney with the tackle, first down. Tampa Bay 24, Memphis 21.
And the final score from Memphis. The Tampa Bay Bandits upset the Memphis Express by a score of 24-21. And your Replay Sports Channel player of the game will go to defensive lineman Kalijah Cansey with his performance today. Kalijah Cansey, 6 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 hurries. So what a ball game by the Tampa Bay Bandits, getting a much-needed win on the road against a Southern Division opponent. We'll take a looking at the final statistics. Flacco finishing the day 22 of 34, 161 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a sack. Lamar Jackson, 16 of 26, 258 yards, no touchdowns, an interception. He was sacked 6 times, so a lot of game balls going out to that Tampa Bay defensive unit tonight. How about Rico Dowdle, running back for Tampa Bay, 17 attempts, 118 yards. And then also Gus Edwards, 10 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tampa Bay running backs, running game combined for 31 carries, 185 yards. That helped Tampa Bay dominate time of possession, 33 minutes, 14 seconds. Cooper Kupp led the way in the receiving department, 5 receptions for 62 yards. So Tampa Bay getting a much-needed win on the road. They improved to 2-4. And the Memphis Express fall to 1-5. Don't forget, next week we have got the St. Louis Battlehawks at the Detroit Wheels. Want to thank all of you for watching tonight's game. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to the Replay Sports channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. See you next time.